Oh, this is very frustrating. I done recorded this damn podcast about 3 damn times, and for some apparent reason, every time I use my damn webcam, it comes out choppy all of a sudden. So I gotta figure this all out. I'm gonna use my regular camera for this. So I apologize about the lighting. For some apparent reason, I don't know where the sun went. It turned into fall. Now the sun doesn't want to show up. So let's talk about some goddamn football, what happened in week 3. I'm a little bit pissed off about what happened with my Pittsburgh Steelers, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm your host, your humble host. Well, not really a humble host today. I'm a little bit pissed off. So your upset host, the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual. I am the Chiseled Adonis. Let's talk about what just transpired. I'll give you the whole rundown from my top 5 picks. Well, not necessarily my top 5 picks, but my top 5 in the power rankings going into week 4. We're going to talk a little bit about J.J. Watt's injury, a little bit about Adrian Peterson's injury, Des Bryant's injury. We're going to talk about that later on, but let's talk about what just happened. We'll go with Thursday Night Football last week. New England Patriots came out with Jacoby Brissett playing at starting quarterback, and they still came and gave the beats by Dre to the damn Houston Texans. You're going to win 27-0. Houston, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Ashamed of yourself. You generated more offense with 4 different quarterbacks last year than you did this week with the damn New England Patriots defense that's not even defined. Like, you got to be kidding me. Brock Osweiler, I said it before, I'll say it again. Highway robbery, that 4-year, $72 million deal that this man got. Couldn't even get the ball to DeAndre Hopkins, who's been beasting on anybody for the last probably, 16, maybe 18 months. He's been killing anybody who lines up ahead of him. Like, you got to be kidding me, son. 0 points. And J.J. Watt, he ended up messing up his back. He'll potentially miss the whole season. From what I heard, the sources have told me he's put on IR. He can't practice for 6 weeks. He can't be put into a game for 8 weeks. Lord knows where the Texans are going to be in 8 weeks, where he's probably going to be back from the PUP list to where he can actually play a game, if he wants to play a game. Because, mind you, he's the best player, in my opinion, he's the best defensive player in the league. He's a top 3 player in the league. I wouldn't want to rush myself to come back from injury like that, because ultimately, think about it, the back is probably the worst injury you can have if you're a defensive lineman. So if I was him, he's probably going to be gone for the whole damn season. So everything that was projected for Houston to do this year is pretty much been slashed. And think about it. Look how strong their defensive line was looking. You had J.J. Watt, you had Jadeveon Clowney, and you had Vince Wilfork. All healthy, all on the line. They was playing amazing. Now you had something like this happen, especially coming off a loss to New England Patriots. You got to be kidding me. And as for the Patriots, for those of the people who always asked me, well, then again, not a lot of people have asked me. There's only been about 2 people actually who was supposed to be my co-host. He's asked me numerous times, who's the best coach of all time? Bill Belichick. I've said it numerous times. If this past Thursday didn't solidify it for me and for you, I don't know what will. This is the 3rd quarterback that's been put into the damn the system this year. And I'm not counting Brady, because Brady's coming back pretty much. He's going to be back in, what, 1 more game? So that's the only reason why I'm not counting Brady. That's why I'm saying, well, then again, I am counting Brady. So that's why I'm saying 3rd quarterback. But Jacoby Brissett just suited up to come into the game after playing about a second half of football last week. Dude came in, played great, amazing in my regard, because you played against a team who couldn't even score a point. So he came out, showed out, won a damn game. Belichick is undefeated with quarterbacks making their first start under center for him. Like, you've got to be kidding me. It's ridiculous. Greatest coach of all time. Jacoby Brissett ain't do too much. He just did enough to get the W. But enough was way better than what they thought he was going to do, especially against that Texans defense. You got to be kidding me. Do that like a 41-yard run for a touchdown. It's insane. I don't know. The Patriots, they're looking really, really impressive. Tell you what, they've jumped to my number 1 now. They've jumped. I'll talk about that later on. Moving on to the Bills and the Cardinals. The Bills got the W 33-18. The Cardinals, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You let a Bills team that has no offense, virtually no offense, score 33 points. LaShawn McCoy ran all over your asses. You got to be kidding me. You're supposed to be the most talented team in the league, and you're already 1-2. And you lose 2 games that you probably should have won. It should be sitting at 3-0. There's no reason why they should have lost to the Patriots week 1. They played very well against Tampa last week, and this week, I don't know what the hell happened. Destroyed. Now, I'm by no means in a corner cheering for Arizona, but if you're somewhat of this elite team and everybody's freaking blowing steam up your ass, there's no reason why you should be laying eggs like this. As for Buffalo, I'm very happy for Rex Ryan. I've always been a fan of Rex Ryan. His brother, not really. I don't know why Robert Ryan is employed. We'll talk about that like I did last week. I still don't understand why this man is employed, but I've always been a big fan of Rex Ryan. I'm happy he got himself a win here. They're playing against the Patriots this week. I hope he beats the Patriots because I love to see the Patriots lose. But as for the Bills, hey, they played decent. LaShawn McCoy pretty much ran all over him. I don't know what's the deal with the Cardinals. No reason why Fitzgerald should not have at least 5 catches. Carson Palmer's really showing his age. He threw 4 interceptions. You've got to be kidding me. Moving on to the Raiders and the Titans. I was very upset with this game. The Raiders came out with a W. I was happy about that. But there was virtually no offense. There was virtually no offense. And mind you, the Titans got robbed in the last couple of seconds because Mariota threw a touchdown to Andre Johnson, and they called the bullshit push-off offensive pass interference. When you look at the film, he barely pushed his hand on him. Like, usually when you call an offensive pass interference, you get a full extended arm. In this case, there was no full extended arm. It was very short. It looked like he just bumped him and then turned and caught the ball. They should have had a touchdown there, making the extra point, going into overtime. Like, I didn't like the ending of that game. As for the Raiders defense, I was very impressed by their defense. They played pretty well. They played really well. Given they gave up like 40 points last week to Atlanta, or was it 35? No matter what it was way too many points. So they had virtually no defense. Now they came out and actually showed up. So like I said, for Oakland fans and also people watching football this year, watch out for Oakland. They are somewhat legit. The Redskins, the Giants game, the Redskins went on to win their first game of the season against the Giants. Like I said, Eli's looking like classic Eli in September. Come out, throw a couple interceptions, blow a game that you probably should have won. Now, regarding the Giants, the first 2 games that they won, it was, you beat Dallas. Dallas was without Romo. Doesn't really do anything for me. Week 2, whoever the hell they played against, wasn't nothing that was too impressive, you know? So that's why I wasn't too sold on the team. Everybody's singing their high praises. Odell Beckham, he came out, he played well, but Josh Norman walked away with the W yet again. And it was a double win because Odell got his ass whooped by the kicking net. So, again, this game was pretty... it was much more offense than I thought I was going to see. Kirk Cousins got it done. He didn't blow the game because usually this man is an interception machine when playing against the Giants. But they didn't come out and blow the game. Washington has no running game. No running game. Every time Matt Jones touched the ball, it seems like it's always on the floor. So I don't know what the deal with that game is, but yeah, they're gonna have to play better on both sides of the ball if they want to really make noise in the NFC East. And I'm speaking about the Redskins here. They gotta play better because this was well against the Giants, but you let them come out way too early and have some fire. There's no reason why the Giants should have already had 14 points in like what was it, the first 8 minutes or something like that. You gotta be kidding me. The Browns and the Dolphins don't really care for this game because both these teams just don't know how to finish. I'm happy that the Dolphins were able to finish this game in OT, but Cleveland ultimately should be sitting at possibly 3-0. Only reason why I'm saying 3-0 is because it could have went either way against Philadelphia the first week of the season. If you look back at that game, there are a whole lot of plays that the Browns would probably want back. Although that's the flow of football, but there's no reason why you should have drop passes like that or miscues like that. If you just cut their miscues in half week 1, they should be sitting at 3-0. There's no reason why they should have lost to the Ravens last week, blowing a 20-0 lead. No reason why you should have lost to the Dolphins this week when you had the go-ahead field goal to win the damn game at the end of regulation. And I think the dude missed or it got blocked. Some shit like that. But seriously, this is ridiculous. Your leading receiver is a former quarterback in Terrell Pryor. You've got to be kidding me. And as for the Dolphins, no reason why you should have this Cleveland Browns team taking you to OT. You have arguably the best defensive line in football. And you're going to overtime with the Cleveland Browns? You got to be kidding me. But big win for the Dolphins, their first win of the season. The Ravens and the Jaguars, the past 3 times I recorded this, I went on a long tirade about Jacksonville letting me down. I can't do it again because I can't remember what the hell I said. I'm not going to be able to recreate the same emotion and passion that I had about my disdain for Jacksonville right now at this moment. But you have one of the youngest, most explosive offenses in the league, and you can't generate 30 points a game yet this season. You've got to be kidding me. This Ravens defense is nothing really spectacular. Tell you the truth, only person that I see really doing something special on that defense is C.J. Mosley. That's it. There may be some people in the secondary who can kind of get it done. There may be some people on that front four who can kind of get it done. But as far as I'm concerned, C.J. Mosley is what makes this whole defense move. And the Ravens offensively have absolutely nobody. Let's take into account, they only scored 1 touchdown. If you eliminate Mike Wallace's 2 touchdowns last week, and that 1 touchdown he had the first week of the season, they virtually have no offense. They have no running game. Joe Flacco has been just dumping it off to Dennis Pitta all season. Steve Smith finally showed up. Jalen Ramsey after the game, I don't know what the deal with this dude. I don't know how much estrogen he got flowing in his blood, but that dude's kind of, suspect. Like, I don't know if you saw his interview on that he had in the locker room. I had it in my video that I posted yesterday. You should probably go check that out. Matter of fact, I'll put it in the link below. I'll put the link in the description below. That dude, he got some sugar in his tea. I'm talking about not just 1 scoop, 2 scoops. He got the whole son bitch dipped into his tea. He's really sweet. I don't know why he should be no grown man talking like that. I think Michael Sam done corrupted him. But moving on. Packers and the Lions. Packers starting to finally look like themselves. Then again, you're playing against Detroit. Aaron Rodgers has owned Detroit the whole time. They got it done 34-27. I think they were up about 31-3, so the Lions had to play catch up the whole time. And I will say this about the Lions. Although they absolutely suck, there is 2 people who I'm very, very hyped about. Then again, I'm not really, I want to say 2 because I've already known about Matt Stafford. Marvin Jones, I don't know where the Packers defense was, but dude had like 6 catches for 220 yards and 2 touchdowns. Why is it that this dude's wide open wherever the hell he go? Like, I'm starting to think they were able to replace Calvin Johnson. Now, don't take my words out of context here. I'm talking about in the system. As speaking as their his spectacular ability, no. You're not going to find another Calvin Johnson. But as for a number 1 receiver, they found one in Marvin Jones. And let me tell you something right now. If Golden Tate could get his head out of his ass and start playing the way he did 2 seasons ago, now the Lions can start to make some damn noise. But as for the Packers, their defense, you got to be kidding me. They can't stop a soul, really. Only reason why the Lions were really in that hole, that 31-3 lead, they had no momentum, so they couldn't do shit. If you feel like you're getting your ass kicked, you're not going to really want to get up to start fighting unless you really want to get up and start fighting, That's when the second half, they started to look like a team that could possibly win the game, but the lead was so insurmountable they couldn't come back. Denver Broncos, Cincinnati Bengals. Denver got the win, 29. I can't speak whenever it's dealing with Cincy. They won the game 29-17. Cincinnati, they should have never even scored a damn point in this game. But Jeremy Hill had a couple of big-ass runs that ended up leading to touchdowns. But as for this Denver defense, they shut them down completely. Dalton couldn't get the ball to anybody. And they banged them up a couple of times. I'm happy that they were kicking his ass. Trevor Siemian, 4 touchdowns. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting the dude to go off like that. Emmanuel Sanders finally learned how to play football again after disappearing after the Super Bowl. I don't know what the hell the deal with this dude was. If you're a fantasy player and you had Emmanuel Sanders on your team for week 1 and 2, I'm pretty sure you were scratching your head wondering if this dude is going to play football. All of a sudden, you got him on the bench. Now, he exploded for I think he had maybe about 16 or 17 targets in the whole damn game. He had about 12 receptions, 150-some yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, yo, what the hell? He was twerking in the end zone. He didn't get no flag because he only did 2 pumps, unlike Antonio Brown who did it 3 times. But you got to be kidding me. Denver's, if their offense can be consistent like this, I don't think they're going to lose a game this year. I'm sorry. Moving on to Minnesota and Carolina. Carolina got their ass kicked. I'm talking about ass kicked. Freaking Cam Newton couldn't do anything. Kelvin Benjamin was out of the game. He was basically not even on the field. Minnesota's defense is something serious. Offensively, there's nothing really special about. I was never sold on Sam Bradford, so I can't sing any high praises for him. And then speaking of Minnesota, given like I said earlier, dealing with Adrian Peterson being out for possibly 8 weeks, I don't know what the deal with him coming back is, because right now I think it's Asiata and McKinnon who's going to be in the backfield, and only way I see production coming out of them is in the red zone, because 2 years ago when Asiata, he was in the red zone all the time, scored 9 touchdowns for him. So ultimately, they're not going to really have any form of running game. I don't see it happening. Most likely, everything's going to be going through the air to that grown man who's a man amongst boys right now, and Stephon Diggs. Although he ain't really do shit this past game, but that dude can flat out ball. Minnesota's a serious threat now, because if you look at the couple of teams that they done played, you shut down Aaron Rodgers, now you shut down Cam Newton. That's something to really be that's something for teams to really be thinking about. Minnesota's a serious team. Let's not just look at them as just a team that we can beat on the schedule no more. Oh no, last year was probably not a fluke. I'm telling you right now. Moving on to Tampa Bay and LA, I was not expecting as much offense out of this game than I saw happening. 37 points from the Rams. And Todd Gurley he didn't even eclipse 100 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns. But 37 points out of the Rams, I was not expecting that at all. Case Keenum finally starting to look like he knew how to play football. He showed up. Tavon Austin finally showed up this season and started playing some ball. Now I will say this about their defense let me down, because there's no reason why this Rams defense that was projected to be a top 5 defense in the league still giving up 30 plus points. It's ridiculous. But Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston got that look in his eye. I really, truly believe he has the potential to be an MVP in the National Football League. Not this year. I don't think he's going to get it done this year, but I think he could do big things. I think he could take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the playoffs, possibly take them to a Super Bowl somewhere in the future. Not right now, but somewhere in the future. Their defensive line, although it's only Gerald McCoy, but they can get it done. I think they can get it done. They got a pretty good offense. They got some big, tall receivers. I think Tampa Bay can make some noise in that NFC South, given the start that the Panthers have had. That you had a bad start with the Panthers. New Orleans not doing too good. Atlanta's leading the division. I think the Buccaneers can make a little bit of noise. Moving on to San Francisco and Seattle. Seattle destroyed them. Russell Wilson got hurt. Had a knee injury. It looked very bad. It looked really bad. But turns out he might possibly be able to play this week. If I was Pete Carroll, I'm not letting Russell Wilson play. I'm not letting him play, because I'm not taking any sort of chance like that. And let me add this. Ever since he got with Ciara, it's been all downhill. Let's be serious. It's been all downhill ever since he got with Ciara. He should have never wasted his time going for this damn terrible, terrible whore. He should have never did it. It's a bad business move, not a smart move. Should have left her ass begging Future to come take care of his son. Some old bullshit, son. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. He's wasting his time. Seattle's looking like a shell of their former selves. They're nowhere near what they used to be. Moving on to the Jets and the Chiefs. The Jets got fucked. And when I say they got fucked, I'm talking about they got Fitzpatrick. The man threw 6 interceptions. I think he threw 5 consecutive interceptions. That's not how you play football. You went to Harvard, okay? That's not how you play football. The Chiefs ain't even really do nothing special, because the Jets, I think he threw 3 red zone interceptions. The Jets were driving down the field, and then he threw a pick. This is the same shit he did last year to close out the season against Buffalo. You've got to be kidding me. Made Jason Peters on the outside look like a damn All-Pro. First team All-Pro. First ballot Hall of Fame. Shit don't make no damn sense to me. He was just giving out nothing but gifts all day. And the Jets offensive coordinator, I don't know what that guy's name is. I've said it in the past 2 podcasts that I've shot. This dude does not know how to call offense. He doesn't know how to call football. I don't think he knows how to set up formations. I don't think he understands the ebb and flow of the game. He needs to be fired. Todd Bowles needs to go look at his OC and say, yo, you need to dip, son. Because this don't make no sense. You have way too many beasts and dogs on this offense to not get it done. 3 points, not even 3 points, 6 interceptions, and mind you, the man threw 8 or 9. The Chiefs dropped about 3 interceptions. So you're looking at possibly a 9-pick game. I don't know what the record is for most interceptions thrown in a game, but Fitzpatrick was fixing to take that shit this week. You gotta be kidding me, son. 5 consecutive drives, interceptions. Get the fuck out of here, son. Go. He need to go somewhere, get a whole bottle of Clorox, a whole bottle, and just drink that shit down, son. Just drink that shit down, and then pump it out your stomach so you can get ready for this Sunday. But you've got to be kidding me. 6 interceptions? I'm done with you. Moving on to the Colts and the Chiefs. The Colts and the Chargers. The Chargers lost Manti Te'o for the season. Torn Achilles. They can't catch a break. They lost this game, 26-22. The Colts, I don't know what the deal with them are because you had how you pronounce it? Perennial? So they were in the playoffs all the time, and they were projected to go to the playoffs all the time, given that they had Andrew Luck. But I don't know what the deal is now. I mean, you had a receiver T.Y. Hilton. He finally showed up this game. I haven't seen T.Y. Hilton since 2014. Okay, I don't know what the hell where he's been at. Like him and Antonio Brown, real cool. I think they grew up together, but clearly it shows who the superior one is. And T.Y. Hilton ain't really do shit until this past game. Offensively, Frank Gore, he's still moving like a fine wine out there, but I don't know. The Colts defense can't really defend. The Chargers have no Woodhead, they have no Keenan Allen, no Antonio Gates, and they were still able to put up 22 points and put themselves in a position to win the game. Ultimately, they couldn't get it done because ultimately, I don't think the Chargers are going to be able to make any noise because their strength and conditioning coach absolutely sucks. Year after year after year after year after year, their team is always some super injuries that's been happening. Like, you've got to be kidding me. If I'm a strength and conditioning coach and I work and I have that damn San Diego Chargers across my chest, I'd be hiding in the corner trying to make sure none of the coaches find me because I'm going to lose my job. Freaking ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense to me. You lose three of your best starters this year already. Week after every single week you lost someone. I can guarantee you this upcoming Sunday they're gonna lose somebody else. Like, you gotta oh my God, my soul hurts for them. Moving on to the Sunday night game because I'm gonna speak about Pittsburgh last because I'll speak about them last. The Sunday game, Chicago and Dallas. Dallas got the W. Prescott finally threw a touchdown. The Bears suck. The Bears suck. That's all I got to say about them. As for Dallas, you lost Des Bryant now because apparently after he got rolled up on that reception that he had, it looked similar to the Le'Veon Bell's injury last year, but he was able to walk it off. Turns out now it was some sort of hairline thing that's in the knee. It said he could possibly miss like 4 weeks or 5 or 6, something like that. I don't know what the specific injury was. And I could tell he's frustrated. He tried to go and practice and all this other stuff, but they're not going to let him. But this is yet another game, yet another year where Dallas is having injury problems with their best 3 starters. I mean, ultimately you had the DeMarco Murrays of the world. He left. So then last year they didn't really have their running back. But now you have Ezekiel Elliott, who's he's catching his footing now. Dak Prescott, he's still playing very well. But now you lost your number 1 receiver. Granted, his security blanket was Cole Beasley anyway, and Jason Witten. So if you're a fantasy owner or you play DraftKings like I do, I'm probably going to pick up Cole Beasley and Jason Witten all together this week. But as for Des Bryant, he's probably going to be out for maybe about, I'd say, 4 to 8 weeks. But in Dallas's case, I don't see them really doing anything because the teams that they've played have really been piss poor. They haven't played any serious contenders as far as I'm concerned. And moving on to the Monday night game, Saints and Falcons, offensive explosion. The Saints put up 32 points. The Falcons put up 45 points without Julio Jones doing anything. He was playing on a bum leg. The dude only had like 2 catches for maybe about 20 or 30 some yards, and they put up 45 points. Devontae Freeman and Coleman in the backfield, scored. I think they combined for 4 touchdowns. Devontae Freeman had like 200 all-purpose yards, something like that. Coleman had 3 touchdowns. And they won on the road, but it was a dome, so I don't really consider it the road. But the Falcons, I don't know. Year after year, they look very good on paper. I have to see what they do after week 8. Because last year they started 6-0. They ended the season like 8-8 or 7-9. I can't sing them no praises. As for the Saints, if the Saints could buy a defense, you're looking at a playoff possible Super Bowl team. Offensively, they look amazing offensively, but they can't do anything on defense. They can't stop a soul. That's why last week when they played against the Giants, I think it was just the Giants' offense that couldn't get nothing done. I don't think that was the Saints' defense. I don't know. They gotta get a defense or something. I feel bad for Drew Brees. I do. because he's ultimately trying to become the all-time leading passer. It's only going to take him 2 seasons because he throws for fucking 5,000 yards every year. But if he can't get if he's on the field that quick, like the opposing team's offense gets on the field, they drive down in like 3 plays and score a touchdown. Now Drew Brees back on the field. He can't even get the water down his throat. Like, he needs a defense if he wants to win. That's why he was able to win in 2009. His defense was making plays. You've got to be kidding me. And then finally, the Pittsburgh Steelers and Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. I'm a Steelers fan. Everybody knows this. I'm not going to say we because I'm not on the field. They got their ass whipped. I'm talking about whipped. Type of shit where they just hold you like they got penetrated. Okay? They got raped. It was that bad. I've never seen, like, I remember 8 years ago sitting at home watching Pittsburgh play against the Eagles in the 2008 Super Bowl season. And the Eagles came out and whooped their ass. That's the only reason why I'm kind of not as upset as I was on Sunday. Because history repeats itself. And when they lost to the Eagles in week 3 of 2008, they went on to win the Super Bowl and they changed up their act. I'm hoping the same thing can happen. Plus, Le'Veon Bell's coming back this weekend, so I'm not feeling too bad. But you can't play like that. Offensively, defensively, on special teams, they play like straight up shit. As for Philly, Carson Wentz, he's starting to look really legit. I thought it was just the couple of teams that he played the first 2 weeks that made him look good, but he's looking really legit, you know? He's looking legit. Darren Sproles, that dude is a beast. Multi-purpose back. Dude is great. He's great. Defensively, they looked very well. Fletcher Cox, monster. But in Pittsburgh sense, Marcus Wheaton, first drive of the game, Pittsburgh flew down the field. Big Ben lays it into Marcus Wheaton's chest. The man drops the ball. He had about 4 drops this game. Antonio Brown had a quiet 12 catches, 150-yard receiving game. Quiet. Why was it so quiet? Because they couldn't do shit. D'Angelo Williams couldn't even run the ball. Big Ben was getting hit every single drive. You've got to be kidding me. You are a favorite to win the Super Bowl. I'm speaking to you, Pittsburgh. You got to play better. Can't come out and play no bullshit like this. Got to be kidding me. Let's talk about our picks for this week. I'm looking at the damn games in the lineup for this week. All right, so tonight we got Cincinnati playing against Miami. Cincinnati gets this W. And it's in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's going to win this game. Why? Because Miami can't they can't close a game for their life. And plus, Vontaze Burfict is coming back. So I don't see, only thing that I see happening is Andy Dalton getting sacked a couple of times because he's the most sacked quarterback in the league. Moving on to Jacksonville versus Indy in Jacksonville. Jacksonville wins this game because Indianapolis can't win on the road. Atlanta and Carolina in Atlanta. Well, then again, you're going to need Julio to be 100% in this game, and Julio's not 100%. So I'm going to go Carolina. They get back on track. Oakland and Baltimore. Baltimore drops this game. They lose their undefeatedness this game. Only because I don't think their defense could stop Oakland. And although Oakland's defense is nothing special, Joe Flacco, I've never been a believer in Joe Flacco. I say Oakland wins this game. Chicago, Detroit all the way because Chicago straight up sucks. Tennessee and Houston. Houston loses this game because they can't seem to stop the run. And Tennessee has a 2-headed monster in the backfield in DeMarco Murray and that Henry dude who came from Alabama. I don't know what his first name is. I'm sorry. I want to say Derek, but I'm not too sure. You know what? I'm going to call him Derek. Okay? If his name's like Thaddeus or some shit, it's Derek today. So Tennessee gets the win here. Buffalo versus New England. New England wins. Why? Because although I want Rex Ryan to beat Belichick, I don't think he has the team to beat Belichick this game. Unless Buffalo, to tell you the truth, it really depends on the first half. Because if Buffalo plays well in the first half, I think they win this game. However, if they don't, they lose this game. Like, for example, if the game is close in the first half, they lose. Buffalo needs at least 2 scores going into halftime up on New England in order to win this game. If not, they lose. Seattle versus the Jets. The Jets win this game. Why? Because Seattle's offense isn't as lethal as it's supposed to be. Plus, Russell Wilson's very wounded. And if you start that Boykin or whatever the hell the name of that backup quarterback is in Seattle. I don't see him being able to beat up this Jets defense through his arm. I don't see it happening. Washington and Cleveland. Washington wins here. Denver and Tampa Bay. Denver wins on the road. Oh, so it seems the damn camera done shut itself off because it wanted me to shut the fuck up. But let me finish what the hell I was talking about. We were talking about Denver playing against Tampa Bay. Denver gets the W. Los Angeles plays against Arizona. I say Los Angeles gets the W in Arizona. Yeah, that's right. I said it. The defense seems to play well against big name teams. So they're going to play well here. Plus, Arizona's back at home unless they get the damn ball to Fitzgerald, because I don't know where the hell Malcolm Floyd is at on the outside. I don't know where the hell that dude is. David Johnson in the backfield, he's getting touchdowns, but he's not really breaking for real big runs, to tell you the truth. And I'll see you running the ball against this Los Angeles defense, you know? Offensively, to tell you the truth, it's going to be all Gurley this game. It's going to be all Gurley. It's going to be all Tavon Austins. That's it. That's it. New Orleans playing against San Diego. New Orleans wins this game on the road only because San Diego is going to lose yet another player, and they can't catch a break. They cannot catch a break. Dallas, San Francisco. Dallas wins this game because San Francisco absolutely sucks. Kansas City and Pittsburgh, you know who I'm going for. In prime time, the Pittsburgh Steelers get the game. They get back on track. They win this game. Le'Veon Bell has 3 touchdowns. Not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns. 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. D'Angelo Williams, he's going to play well as well. I'm telling you right now, Antonio Brown's going to have a game of his life on the outside. He's going to embarrass Justin Peters and whoever the hell the other, no, is it Justin or is it Jason? Jason Peters, whatever the hell his name is. He's going to get his ass whipped by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because last year, when they played against Pittsburgh, they had fucking Landry Jones in the back, at quarterback. This year, we got Big Ben. All right? You better understand. You better recognize D'Lo Brown, 1999. Monday Night Football game, you got the Giants playing against Minnesota. Minnesota gets the win only because their defense is freaking amazing, and I don't think the Giants offense can hang. If you shut down people like freaking Aaron Rodgers and Cam Newton, ain't no way in hell you're not about to shut down Eli Manning. Now, going on to my top 5 teams. My top 5, well, not necessarily, but yeah, my top 5 teams in the NFL. Number 1, the New England Patriots, because they're able to win with anybody at quarterback. Number 2, the Denver Broncos. Number 3, the Minnesota Vikings. Number 4, the Green Bay Packers. And number 5, the motherfucking Philadelphia Eagles. And now, I'm your host, your humble host, because I'm not as upset as I was before. I am the Chiseled Adonis, the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual. And I'm signing the fuck off.